Hi, I'm James Laughlin, a former 7-time world champion pipe band drummer. I want to share with you a little bit of a lesson inside my pipe band drumming inner circle. So every week I have a live practical lesson delivered either by myself or one of my amazing lineup of tutors. So you're going to see a little snippet from that today. And hey, if you would like to get your hands on a free drumming course, a full video course called Drumming Transformation Week, just click in the link below. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I put out so many video tutorials on pipe band drumming, so I hope you enjoy it.
For me, especially when it comes to memorizing music, I basically need to have some kind of recording that I can play along to. That ideally for like a band tune, if they have band recordings that they've done at like past competitions or practices. A pipe tune would be my second choice, just literally just the pipe melody. And then if you don't have any of that, someone playing the drum score, generally like the lead drummer, in most cases if you're learning this for a band. And the reason why I kind of harp on this idea is that for me, looking at like a piece of music without kind of having a idea of like the melody or the musical context around it, it's kind of like learning like a bunch of stuff for an exam that you're going to forget like as soon as you leave the exam room. For me, I need something that I can like attach all of these dots on a page to for me to one, be able to like absorb the information and learn it, but especially when it comes to memorizing it, because generally in pipe band context you're not going to be able to look at the music while you perform, so memorizing it is a huge part of this. So once ideally once you have the recording and you've listened to it dozens of times, if you go into it with a clear idea of how everything will sound, it'll make deciphering what is on the page way easier. So when it comes to actually sitting down and learning the tune, there's two main concepts that I will stress. They're really common sense, but common sense isn't necessarily always common practice. So the first thing, number one, is to break it down into smallest chunks as possible. So I'll just play you the one repeat of this first part. One, two. Cool. So what a lot of you will do, especially once people get to a high level, the tendency is to just kind of look at like a tune, and especially if you have your reading together pretty well, can be pretty easy to just kind of like stumble your way through a tune without actually um, going into like the details of how to execute and play everything. So if you take these two bars, for example, where we play. So the first part, pretty easy. Maybe that part, like from the end of the roll to the start of the second bar. So instead of trying to take it in like one line, two line chunks, I would even play it from like beat to beat. So your first beat you have. Cool. So once you have that down and you basically like cannot play it wrong, that's when you move on to the next part. So you can either join that phrase onto, or you can play it independently. So then if you move on from that, and that completes the 2-bar phrase, and then you would join that together. So by going through this process, the whole idea is that when I'm practicing something, I want to basically get it wrong as few times as possible, if that makes sense. So even if I've been practicing something for a few days, I will still take like the bits out of it that I find challenging and practice those over and over again. So, like, let's say bar 3, I'm like struggling with. Instead of spending like lots of time, wasting my time going through the whole tune, which I have like 90% of it down, I would much rather spend 10 minutes going than kind of half going through everything and then like ignoring the pieces that I'm not nailing, basically. So that's really how I would break this down into the smallest pieces where it's challenging enough that it's something that I'm not playing correctly, at least initially, but I want to basically, instead of trying to like take a huge bite of something and slowly sort of putting the pieces together, I'd rather take tiny bits of that and then add them up. And it basically is engraving in you a stronger idea of how everything needs to be executed, and making sure you have all of these stickings correctly down. Because you can see this when I go to band practices, and there's people that kind of know the tune, and then there's people that really know the tune, where you can basically ask someone, all right, what's the third bar of bar 3, and then the people that can immediately be like, yep, it's this part, it's on this hand with this embellishment or whatever. That's the point that you want to get to with these tunes, especially ones that are getting a little more technical like this. It's really about breaking it into as small as pieces possible.
I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a clip from our inner circle. If you'd like to see the full video, head on over to pipebanddrumminginnercircle.com. I will put that description in the link below. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, because every week I upload a new video lesson. You don't want to be missing out on that. And please, while you're here, hit that subscribe button.